Hello, hello. Welcome back to the weekly Monday Motivation Podcast, No More Excuses. This is your host, Sandi Ballard, the Badass Business Coach. If you have not checked out my website, you can, and it's growingforward.biz, but also badassbusiness.coach. I look forward to hearing from you and having you follow me on social media. And again, when you follow me, let me know. I try to watch out for new followers and follow you back. So please at least, direct message me or whichever platform and just say, hey, I'm a listener and I will definitely connect with you. So this week is all about living by your word, checking in on you to make sure you're living by your word. Do you know your word of the year? Have you even said that? If you have not, then you're clearly a new listener. Last week's podcast was about paying attention, looking around to see what's going on around you, in your environment, in your world, all of it. What are you working on? What are you doing? Are you creating awareness? I wanted you to do that activity so you would take the time to notice what's going on. Yes, even 2 weeks into the year, or a few weeks into the year, I guess, if you're living by your word of the year, if you had already jumped back into the kind of wash, rinse, repeat, the holidays are over and I got to get back into everything, and just that craziness, right? Because sometimes if you're off work or just whatever goes on with the holidays, you get distracted and you're behind, right? So awareness is the agent of change. But how? You've heard the phrase, you don't know what you don't know, right? Well, how does awareness help you create change? So if you don't know that you're off track, or perhaps off to a great start, how do you know what needs to change? You have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to be, take the time to check in on yourself. Be aware of you, your surroundings, your attitude, others' attitudes, right? I know many of you hate the word change, but how do you continue to grow personally, professionally, whatever it is? I just heard the quote, a business doesn't grow, people do. That's right. So through growth comes change. Maybe you don't need to change. Maybe you don't want to. But how do you know? Again, you don't know if you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And you've got to check in. That's why I want to really get you off to a really strong start this year by having you do this check-in. And we're not doing a progress check on your goals, right? We're checking in on if you're living by your word. And why is that? Because if you live by your word, it's aligned with your goals and you'll achieve them much faster and easier. So, and if you got into that wash, rinse, repeat of, craziness of the year, just taking a pause and looking around and be creating that awareness will help you see if you're stuck or off track or lost, right? Creating healthier habits. And hopefully you realize I'm not talking about diet and exercise, right? Healthier habits are anything that keeps you mentally and physically productive, happy, and healthier as a whole, right? Okay, so creating those healthier habits early on will help you be more successful, will help you grow personally and professionally, okay? So, for those of you who did your check-in, how'd you do? And if you haven't done your creating awareness and your check-in on your word, take the time to look around, look at other people around you, their attitude, their energy. How are you reacting to it? What are you working on? Is it what you like or love, hopefully, to do? Is it making you happy or stressing you out? Are you living by your word? And okay, you know me, we have to be realistic. You may not believe that this can be a good thing for you or however it's going to help you, right? And you're going to be frustrated and hit challenges no matter what. It's called life. It's not going to be peaches and cream every day. But if you keep working at it and keep living by your word and making progress and checking in, you can recover from those shitstorms easier and faster, right? And if you know where you're supposed to be headed, you can realize that that you're off track a lot faster. So yes, boom, right there, progress check, early in the year. But again, it's not checking in on your goals necessarily. It's checking on, are you living by your word of the year? So this week, email me, sballard@growingforward.biz, or post here. How does awareness help create change? And what did you realize needs to change? All right. How does awareness help create change? And what did you realize needs to change? I look forward to hearing from you. And let's do this. Let's make changes early on. And let's have a kick-ass year. Have a great week. I look forward to hearing from you. Cheers.